After my most recent video on Warframe, I got a ton of requests from you guys to watch Warframe as a Wake-Up Call by LD. Well, I'm a man of the people, so here we are to do it today. I'm not going to end up showing the full thing. If you guys want to see the full thing, go watch it yourselves. But if I think I have something that, you know, my 10,000 odd hours of Warframe experience would help with, then I will be interjecting and I will show that. Without further ado, let us begin.
Warframe is the most well-known yet under-discussed and underappreciated games in all of gaming. It's often referred...
That is so fucking factual when it comes down to it. Warframe, give me a second. So there are a couple of reasons, I believe at least, why Warframe is seen this way and usually is perceived in that regard, that it's not talked about in a popular sense. There are not a huge amount of people talking about Warframe, and I think the reason really, even though Warframe is a very popular game, and it does many things to the utmost that it can, it's just not that good when it comes to making content. And let me show you what I mean by that. So I've searched up Warframe in the YouTube search engine, and you can see here immediately what I mean. So the highest viewed video in recent times, this one by As to Cross, you can see directly beneath that 13k views, 150k views, 6.1, 10k. Just the whole thing about Warframe is it's not great to make content on. There are two kinds of content you're gonna get when you play Warframe, or when you try to, if you were to make content for Warframe, and none of them really have much to do with the game. The first kind that you're going to find are videos by people like this. Hold on. So you have people like this, okay? So you have Original Wicked Fun. He's one of the OGs, by the way. Original Wicked Fun. He is one of the OGs of Warframe, and if we go into his videos and sort by popular, you can see here, like, back in the day, this guy was killing it, you know, like 600, 500,000. It goes down slowly, but this is way back in the day, you know, 9 years ago sort of era. Back when Warframe was at a time where in-game tutorials just were not a thing, and so everyone came looking for YouTube videos, and this is what you'd end up finding. Give me a second. This is another one of the OGs, Tactical Potato. As you can see here, frame guides in general are quite successful on Warframe, but they don't show much of the game. Now, the second kind of content that you're going to see, give me a second. So right here, I've gone into Google and I've searched up all Warframe main questline, and it has brought up all of these. So we've got Vor's Prize, Once Awake, The Arkwing, Stolen Dreams, The New Strange, Natar, The Second Dream, The War Within, Chains of Harrow, Apostasy Prologue, The Sacrifice, The New War, Chimera Prologue, Rising Tide, and The Daveri Paradox. And I believe there are a few more than this now. All of these quests are pretty much the only opportunities you're going to have as a content creator to make content on the game. Nobody wants to watch someone farming for Nyx Prime for fucking 13 hours. They want to watch your reaction and your content when it comes to these quest lines. So when you add it up, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 15 total opportunities for content in Warframe. You have nothing else besides that. The only other things that you can do, and I'll show you that, retrospective or review or something around that type videos, or like, you know, the classic one of, I haven't played Warframe in forever and then I come back to this. You know, those videos tend to do pretty well. And like, for example, you can see here, I Was Wrong About Warframe by Razio. If we go into his videos, Warframe, I was wrong about Warframe, and you can see here like 1.7k, 23k. If we go to his videos overall, 90k on the Warframe, 56k on his first video on it, and then the rest of his videos are sort of hanging around the 1000 view mark. And this is what is so powerful about Warframe in these situations, is Warframe has such a grab when people are interested, but those grabs become very few and far between as you're trying to make content for the game. And this is the reason why I think Warframe is not very talked about. Content creation and games sort of get handled through and through each other. Well, usually a conversation between me and my mates even starts like this. Have you heard about this YouTuber? Yes, I have heard about this YouTuber. Did you see that they played this one game? Oh yeah, I've heard about that game. Is it good? Yeah, I played it the other day. It's pretty good. You should play it. Keep that in mind, guys, that Warframe as a content creation thing, it's not going to net you a lot of views or even a lot of active watches on Twitch especially. It's just one of those feel-good games that you can play along with your friends, but it's not really necessarily entertaining to a wider audience. There's no real skill level in Warframe. There's nothing, you know, compelling about it to watch, but it is a damn good game to play.
You have pets, ships, clans, PvP, personal housing, boss fights, a roguelike, a fighting game, open...
Harrier for 75 plat.
It has consistently stayed in the top 20 of the most played games on Steam for over a decade now, and in doing that, there is something inherently special here. While it's not burning the world down with insane peaks, it's maintained its player base.
I've never actually seen this graph before. 189k. Fucking hell. Jesus, alright.
Well, to answer that, we need to understand the game's history. Now, you may recognize the name Digital Extremes. Renowned for their early work on Unreal Tournament in partnership with Epic Games, they played a pivotal role in shaping the landscape of multiplayer first-person shooters. They were among the first to popularize key features like online
Alongside
multiplayer,
Epic
power
Games.
weapons,
Yep.
team deathmatch, and capture the flag, laying the ground for many of the multiplayer games that we play today. After parting ways with Epic Games, as Epic went on to make Gears of War with Xbox Studios, they decided to pitch their own game idea, and they tried to do it for over a decade.
And it fucking sucked. I got absolutely nowhere with that shit, man. That was... Pitching Dark Sector was rough on them as a whole. To my knowledge, they got absolutely nowhere with it. And when it did come out, they had to change several things about it that they didn't want to be, I believe, more in line with, at the time, what was the head honcho at the time, Resident Evil, I think, was it? They had to make it play more like Resident Evil, but originally it was going to play like Warframe. If in an alternate universe, Warframe actually was made in 2006, 7, maybe even 5.
And grow the game over time, rather than trying to pursue a traditional release. Facing imminent financial collapse with only 12 months of funds remaining, Digital Extremes decided to pursue a long-held vision for what used to be Dark Sector, and then was now codenamed Lotus. Within 2 months, they developed in the market. They approached free-to-play publishers asking for support, but they were getting rejected yet again. Undeterred, Digital Extremes decided to self-fund the project, with only 9 months of funds remaining.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll go back and re-listen to what he said, but I'm so enamored by the olds. Damn, dude. I miss this a lot. I do.
Embracing the success of Kickstarter campaigns that were going on at the time, Digital Extremes introduced supporter packs to raise additional funds. This approach, while initially slow, proved ultimately effective.
Those accounts now are worth, like, I mean, you can't ever get Excalibur Prime again. Like, you just can't. You can dress Umbra up as best as you can, but it's not going to be Excalibur Prime. Yeah, I mean, those accounts will be priceless. I myself never bought the supporter pack, one, because I was too young, but two, I didn't even know there was one. Yeah, I missed out. I missed out greatly. Oh, my camera's in the way. Hold on.
Approach, while initially slow, proved ultimately effective, and demonstrated that
that was a stamina bar. It wasn't really a stamina bar. It was like a movement bar. It limited the amount you could sprint. Can you imagine that in today's age of Warframe?
Digital Extremes started out with great intentions, to be honest with you. But that doesn't mean that they didn't make the same mistakes that many other free-to-play and live service games make time and time again.
What mistake?
And that's with its monetization. But the difference is they learn from their mistakes. I don't think anybody can disagree with this.
When did they fuck up on monetization? What? Warframe, from my knowledge, has always been pretty well monetized. It's not, you know, it's not traditional monetization, but it works.
All in the name of higher profits.
So true.
Digital Extremes was incredibly nervous about getting into free-to-play because they were afraid that they were going to do it wrong, and in fact, they did. At first, they started selling power.
Oh. Yeah, those were the dark ages, boys. Oh my god, this is old. Oh, man. These days you have to pay for like additional mod slots and stuff. Like, you don't have to pay, but you can, you know, you spend platinum to get a potato and put the potato on your Warframe and whatnot. Back then you had to pay for everything. Mods, your jumping abilities, your health, everything. I completely forgot about this, but yeah, you had to do all of this. I actually wonder, because if he does, I'll probably end up skipping it, but basically, because he's talking about the skill tree, the only other time I can remember D fucking up when it comes to this sort of stuff there, and to be honest, it was only up for a very, very short amount of time, so I don't know if he will talk about it. You used to be able to get Khajiits, when they first came out, like way back when, and Kubros and whatnot, but you had to roll for their like fur color and their skins, and so people were like spamming the roll button to try and get the best skins, you know? Some bloke, I can't remember what his name was, I knew him, he rolled his fucking thing like 200 times. And he is probably the sole reason they removed that button, because you had to pay real money to get those skins, and this man was just there every single fucking time, just roll.
Listening to their community ended up catching the attention of the late great commentator Total Biscuit, who came to cover the game.
Salute your boy Total Biscuit. This man is single-handedly probably, if not one of the only reasons Warframe got to the point where it did. This man shouted out the game, and it went so fucking far. F's in chat, boys. Like, that bloke, he will be missed. A lot of people don't realize this, and a lot of people don't know this. Warframe devs love that bloke. They had a funeral for him in-game that you could attend as a player, so yeah. Really big support for him.
Stream comments, or how a lead Starfield developer makes a Twitter thread saying, "Funny how disconnected some players are from the realities of game development, and yet they speak with complete authority."
Buddy, Emil, I'm sorry to tell you this. We speak with authority because we are the authority. If I think your game's shit and then everyone else agrees with me, I'm sorry, but your game's shit. You can think it's as good as you want, or, you know, you say disconnected from the realities of game development. I don't need to be connected with the reality of game development. That's the point. You're providing me a game. You're not providing me a fucking job interview. This is fucking retarded.
Authority to players speak with their money. They are your paying customers. While players may not know exactly how to voice their concerns, and oftentimes will...
Maybe I have seen that in game. Oh, that actually just tripped me the fuck out.
How many developers have you seen remove a microtransaction from their game because players were using it?
Yep, he knows. Alright, skipping this part.
The game is earnable in-game with very few outliers. Warframe uses Platinum as its in-game premium currency.
Everything in Warframe, at least when I was still playing, was obtainable via playing the game. This did involve trading, and there were people who were better at trading than others. Like, I have a mate who's useless at it. Everything in the game, no matter what, was obtainable via the Platinum system, and you could obtain the Platinum through games, through grinding and selling off your items that you got from missions that would have been rare. one of the most, because you needed to start somewhere, because Warframe does give you platinum, but it's not tradable. You get, I think you start off with 70 platinum, and it's just meant to be like a, hey, you can upgrade this, you can do that with this stuff, this is how it works. It's kind of like 70 platinum just to show you how to use the platinum. You took two routes. You either took the Riven route, which I honestly recommend because it's pretty fast. But if you're already pretty set up, you could go into, back in the day, you go into Ophelia in Uranus, I believe it's called, and you try and get Condition Overload, and you try and farm Condition Overload, and you'd be lucky to get one every like 70 minutes, if that. And it was like the best way to start your platinum grind. And you know, a Condition Overload back then I think sold for about 30 or 40 platinum. I think today it's more like 10, 20.
I was already trading items with other players and stockpiling currency from the minute that I had started. While players still have the option to buy anything that they want from the game's in-game shop, all of those things, or at least the vast majority of them outside of cosmetics and color palettes, can be earned in-game. So, Mr.
Mm-hmm. There's a common phrase that you guys will hear amongst older veterans, and hopefully it is still a shared sentiment, although I hear it's becoming less and less, and I'll tell you why. Warframe is not pay to win, but it is pay to win faster. If you pay for platinum, the devs are going to give you a massive head start on a lot of things. All these things can be obtained, as I said. It's just going to take a long time, and it's going to, you know, you're going to be at it for about 100 hours before you have a good, stable variety of both weapons and warframes alike. Now, the reason why that sentiment might have changed over the years is because I heard talk of something called Regal Ire. Now, when I played the game, I don't think this was present in it, but the Regal Ire is something that I've heard about, and I've heard that it is an unobtainable paid resource that allows you to buy vaulted items, which I think is really not good. In Warframe, if you have vaulted items, your account's way better off than if you don't. But essentially, you're paying for an open vault in one relic, and I don't think I like that.
There is no time wasting in Warframe. And what's even more crazier is that, adding to this absurdity, they show players how not to spend money within their premium shop. If you go to their premium shop and look at any of the items available in it, next to every item, it tells you.
This is, in my opinion, the most ethical marketing for a free-to-play game. You have your purchase, like, for it, and you can put that anywhere on the screen. But somewhere on the screen, I think there should also be a way for the player to acquire the item with no payments required. And I think that Warframe has done this the best out of any free-to-play model I've ever seen. Including the fact that there's a free battle pass and everything.
Doesn't mean that players don't support the game. In fact, they do quite a lot, because by making things so accessible, giving massive discounts on their currency and things like that, being able to just get all the things that you want in the game by playing it, players just want to spend money on the game because they want to support it, because they love the...
Players spend the most amount of money when they've reached, like, sort of this midpoint in the game. And the reason why I think this is because the amount of time you have to wait for things to craft and otherwise things to do, because there are certain things in the game that you can't do at all times. They're only open for a significant amount of time. And I think that a lot of these players will spend money on skins, specifically, because I don't know if you guys know about this, but there's this thing in Warframe called, I believe it's called Soulframe. Basically, artists can try and get their artwork in the game, and they'll be accredited with their artwork. And so these artworks get put into the game from the players, you know, by the players, and usually get bought by the players. And I don't know, some of the proceeds might go to the original artist. I don't know, don't quote me on that. That'd be an interesting one to look into. Rightio guys, I ended up watching to the end of the video, and there's just not really a huge amount left for me to commentate on, so I'm going to end the video there. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Seriously, go check out Legendary Drops' original video on it. I cut out a shit ton, obviously. it was a really well made, well researched, and well put together video. Everything in here that I saw was more or less pretty bloody accurate, so he's done a good job. Yeah. Anyways, catch us later. See ya.